and the Highwaymen.
What year was that?
This was 1990 also.
Okay. Chip's studio over in Berry Hill. These guys are recording. And I got a call from CBS Records and said, we can't find a photo of the Highwaymen, and they won't do a photo session for the album cover. We really need to have pictures of these guys. Just go over to the studio and see what you can get. So, so they're recording. So I went over there and I set my canvas up in the lobby of the studio. I forget who there was a contact person, but they arranged with the guys to come out and do just a quick photo session. This photo session happened in 5 minutes. They came out and said, I'll give you 5 minutes. And I had all my stuff set up. I sort of had in my mind how I wanted to do it. I had canvas and stuff to sit them on and all this stuff. I really had thought about how to do it. And they all came out and I set them up there and we talked, and there's a part of the sessions where they're standing and there's a great shot of when they're all standing together and Waylon is telling some joke. And it's in the middle of this joke. And I'm in a Hasselblad, you have to change. You got 12 frames. You can't just crank it. So I'm changing film all the time. I'm thinking, God, I hope I have it back with film in it, because when the punchline comes, I want to be ready for it. So Waylon's telling this joke, and just at the punchline, he's got his hand up in the air like this, telling the punchline. And I just put the film back on the camera and just got it. Of everybody laughing. Do you know that shot?
Yeah.
Of everybody laughing, and he's got his finger up in the air. I just had enough time to put that back on the Hasselblad and pull the slide out and shoot it. But this whole photo session was a 5-minute photo session. They came out, they sat down, we did this shot, and then we did some standing, and then they said, okay, we're done. And walked away.
It's amazing in 5 minutes that they just agreed to stand where you asked them to stand.
Yeah, well, they were ready to do anything that I asked them to do. That was part of the deal. Yeah. Just do whatever he asked you to do for 5 minutes, and then you're done. But I was ready, because I knew I kind of had this thing in mind, and I wanted to be ready for it, because I was nervous. I was wrecked, man. I was complete wreck, trying to figure out. I mean, they sent me over there to do something, and the guys don't want to do it. They hated being photographed, yeah. And I didn't know what I was going to get, and
You have 4 people who have made their reputation about not doing things that they don't want to do.
Yeah, they didn't want to do it, and the record company was really pissed off. Virginia Teen was the art director. She was really pissed off. They're all wearing, you can't tell, everybody's wearing black. And it just happened to be, they just happened to be wearing black. There was no staging, no dressing. But Waylon was wearing this jacket that was real shiny. And it doesn't show up so much in here, but she kept cussing Waylon for wearing this jacket because she had to retouch it so much. But it was just one of those moments that just happened, you know.
1990, how do you retouch something to take the shine out of a jacket when you don't have Photoshop?
I didn't have Photoshop, but they had a lot of ways to retouch stuff.
I guess over the years, people get good at things, figure out what is.
But that was amazing to me. When again, I didn't know what I had because it was on film until I developed and started printing it, and I realized that we had something. But man, I was a nervous wreck, because these guys are all my heroes, and they don't want to be photographed. And I'm sent over there to make some kind of a photograph that I don't know what it's going to be. But it turned out good. They used the shit out of it. I mean, they used it for album covers and everything.
Do you remember what recording studio they were in?
Yeah, it was Chip's Moments.
That's right, Chip's Moments.
Over in Berry Hill.
Okay. Did you get to hear any of the music going on there?
Nope.
Was Reggie Young there?
Yeah. At the end of it, everybody who's working on the album came out and stood for pictures. And it's Reggie Young, all the guys all the musicians that were playing on. Marty Stewart was there. I'll show you the pictures of all the players, but it's just a group picture of about 15 people with these guys in there. They're all just standing there. So that was the last frame. Everybody wanted a picture with them. Now, once we got this, everybody just came out and stood around and took a few frames.
How did this come about, and what do you remember about that day?
What I remember about that day is John Prine was there. 1990.
John Prine came by with Chris Christopherson?
Yeah. It wasn't for any purpose. I mean, it wasn't for any record company or I think it was probably something I was shooting for John, and Christopherson was there and went in front and went on the old canvas and shot some portraits. A lot of these portraits happened that way. They weren't planned. Like, just because I always had the canvas set up, and whoever came in, I tried to get them on it, and however it happened. And that was just one of those things. Because there is a photograph I can show you. I don't have a print of it, but there is a photo of Prine and Chris together. Oh. I think it's on the website.
That was from the same day?
The same day.
Okay. It's interesting to me that on a lot of these photos that you said were just from the hang and no purpose or whatever, that the people really have nice, big, beautiful smiles, like they're having a great time.
Yeah.
There's no agenda.
No, there's no agenda. There's no record company. There's no managers. Yeah.
There's no pressure on any of this.
No. That was what's so great about it.
What do you remember about this Waylon Jennings photo?
Waylon was somebody that whose music I really, really loved. And I was one of the things that was so great about coming to Nashville and getting settled here was actually getting to work with people whose music I was buying. I had all their records, and Waylon is one of them. And so I got a call to shoot him, and I don't think it was for an album cover. It was probably just for a press release. But this was shot over on Wyoming Avenue studio. Does it say what year that was?
1985.
85, okay. I was still over in Wyoming Avenue. And, he just came in and was just funny and just relaxed and funny. And we went on, this is the old canvas again, just went and started shooting pictures, and he was playing and talking and joking around. There wasn't any great album cover or anything that came from it. It was just a press shot.
Was this hired by a label?
Yeah, it was hired by, I don't know, probably his manager or somebody. It was just, I think, a press shot. It wasn't an album cover. I just loved that. I mean, that was Waylon.
What's the situation here?
Well, I wanted to do a portrait of Johnny. I always wanted to photograph him. And I talked to his manager. This was when he was doing his TV show out at Opryland, Johnny Cash show. He says, if you want to do it, take your canvas out there and set it up, and he'll come and do a portrait. So and it turned out that Billy Graham was his guest that night. So they just both walked out. And this was shot in the lobby of the TV studio at Opryland. Took the canvas out and set it up. Shot some pictures. I think I shot some stuff of Johnny, and then Billy Graham showed up. That was like, wow.